Imagine this for a second. You wake up in the morning, reach for your phone, and it says, no, not broken, not dead. It simply refuses. You try to open your door. No. You sit on your chair. No. Your car won't start. Your keys won't turn. Your laptop won't open because suddenly the objects around you have a choice. And today they chose not to help you. Sounds funny at first, but think deeper. What if everything you use every day could say no? How would the world even function? Main story, a world where objects refuse. We rarely notice how much our life depends on silent cooperation. Every second of every day, thousands of objects around us are working perfectly without asking questions. The bed supports our weight. The tap gives us water. The door opens. The lights turn on. The car starts. The phone responds instantly to every touch. None of these things argue. None of them hesitate. They simply obey. Because of this, we grow up believing this obedience is normal, automatic, guaranteed. But imagine if one morning that silent agreement disappeared. Imagine waking up in a world where objects had choice, where they could decide whether to help you or not. Suddenly, nothing is guaranteed anymore. Every small action becomes uncertain. Every simple task becomes a negotiation, and the smooth, predictable world we depend on begins to feel unstable and fragile. The first morning of refusal. Picture the first day carefully. You wake up late because your alarm clock decided not to ring. Not broken, it just didn't feel like it. You rush out of bed, but the bathroom tap doesn't open. The handle turns, yet nothing flows. The mirror fogs up and cracks because it refuses the heat. Your toothbrush falls from your hand as if rejecting you. You move toward the kitchen, expecting coffee, but the machine doesn't start. The refrigerator doesn't cool. Even your chair feels stiff and uncomfortable, like it doesn't want to support your weight. Small inconveniences start stacking up. Frustration grows. Within minutes, you realize something terrifying. Nothing around you is reliable anymore. Life becomes slow, awkward, difficult. And this is only inside your house. Outside, the real chaos has already begun. Cities would collapse. Faster than we think, modern cities look powerful. Skyscrapers, highways, trains, airports, everything feels strong and advanced. But in reality, cities are extremely delicate systems built on millions of small parts working together perfectly. If traffic lights refuse to function, intersections turn into accidents within minutes. If elevators refuse to move, people are trapped in towers. If buses and trains refuse to start, millions cannot go to work. If doors don't unlock, offices don't open. If machines in hospitals refuse to cooperate, surgeries stop mid-operation. It wouldn't take days for society to break. It would take hours, because civilization's not built on strength. It's built on cooperation. And if even simple objects begin saying no, the entire system falls apart like dominoes. Technology suddenly becomes powerless. We often think technology makes us powerful. We believe machines give us control over the world. But imagine if every device had free will. Factories would shut down instantly. Robotic arms would stop mid-air. Conveyor belts would freeze. Computers might refuse to process data. Servers might decide they're tired. Power plants could simply stop generating electricity. Without machines, food stops being packaged, medicine stops being produced, fuel stops being refined, internet stops working. In just a few days, modern life would look unrecognizable. No deliveries, no communication, no online systems, no banking, no manufacturing. We would suddenly realize something uncomfortable. We never truly controlled technology. We only borrowed its obedience. The balance of power flips. For all of human history, we shaped the world to serve us. We cut trees and turned them into furniture. We mined metal and turned it into tools. We melted sand and turned it into glass. We forced raw materials into forms that obey our needs. Objects never had a voice. But if they suddenly could refuse, the balance of power would flip completely. Humans would no longer be masters of their environment. Instead, we would be negotiators, constantly hoping the world cooperates with us. Your roar might not open. Your shoes might not want to carry you. Your car might decide it doesn't want to burn fuel today. And for the first time in history, humans would feel what it's like to depend on something that can say no back. Daily life becomes slower and more human. Interestingly, not all changes would be chaos. Some would be strangely calming. Without constant machine obedience, life would slow down. People might walk more instead of driving, cook fresh food instead of using appliances, talk face to face instead of staring at screens, repair things instead of throwing them away. We might start treating objects with more care because cooperation wouldn't be guaranteed anymore. You wouldn't slam doors. You wouldn't throw your phone. You wouldn't overwork your car. Because if mistreated, maybe it refuses tomorrow. In a strange way, respect might return. Gratitude might return. Waste might decrease. The world might become slower, but more thoughtful. A mirror to ourselves. But maybe the biggest lesson isn't about objects at all. Maybe it's about us. Because think about how we live today. How often do we feel like machines ourselves, waking up to alarms we don't want, working long hours without rest, answering messages instantly, always available, always productive, always saying yes. We expect objects to never refuse, and we expect the same from ourselves. Maybe that's why this idea feels so strange, because deep down, we also wish we could say no sometimes, but feel like we can't. In a world where objects refuse, maybe humans finally learn to set boundaries too. The fragile truth about civilization. At its core, this thought experiment reveals something important. Civilization isn't held together by concrete and steel. It's held together by cooperation. Billions of small yes decisions happening every second. The light says yes. The road says yes. The engine says yes. The door says yes. If those yeses disappear, everything collapses, which means our world is not as strong as it looks. It's balanced on trust. Trust that things will keep working tomorrow like they did today. And that trust is something we never even notice until it's gone. Like and subscribe. Next time you pick up your phone, open a door, start your car, think about it. What if it didn't have to obey? If this video made you think differently about the world around you, hit like so more people can see it. And subscribe for more mind-bending what-if stories that change how you see everyday life. Because sometimes the strangest questions teach us the biggest truths. See you in the next one.